What's up, everyone? It's Whack, and welcome you to week 9 of PWO low tier. I have not played since week 6 because I had gotten a forfeit win from, I believe, JT, and I've received a forfeit win from Big Shane. I did offer, I think I offered an extension to Big Shane, however, I did say I was kind of busy, so he just gave me the win. And it's kind of true, I have been pretty busy, especially with the team tour that SPS is doing, as well as just in general. Like, my schedule's been a bit wacky. I'm trying to get my doctor's appointments and all that crap in. And yeah, I've just got a lot going on. It's also like birthday and holiday season for my family, so yeah, just a lot going on. But I was able to play a game against Mario B for week 9. I don't even remember who we played last time. Maybe we played like Jarvis week 6 or something like that. That might have been week 5. I don't know. It's just been like half a month since we've played a game here. So our team is a bit rusty, but we're getting back off the bench. This week we're up against Mario B, who has a pretty scary team consisting of Mega Absol, Cobalion, Noivern, Serena, Rhyperior, Slurpuff, Garbodor, Lapras, Haunter, and Mawile. He used to have Clang over Mawile, but I'm not really sure why he traded it. I guess maybe he wanted Intimidate, but I think Clang is unironically a lot better than Mawile. It doesn't have as many options, but its stats are better than Mawile, and it can hold a Violate, which is crazy. Clang has a lot better stats than you'd expect it to. Even for a Gen 5 mon, I think Kling's base stat total is almost at the same level as a starter. So yeah, very interesting. So for prepping for this, I was pretty scared of Mega Absol. I was pretty scared of a special Cobalion set, as well as Noivern, Serena chipping things down. Rhyperior, I don't think I was that scared of, but it could have chipped down something that I needed for something else. Belly Drum Slurpuff would have been kind of scary for the way I prepped this week, especially because some of my mons that would beat Slurpuff are kind of prepped to help beat other things. He also has Lapras, which is a little bit tough for Blastoise to deal with because I can't flip turn on it. And most of my moves don't really hit it very well. I guess I could run Body Press or Aura Sphere, but I kind of needed other moves on it. So my sets this week, I'm bringing a Sandy Shocks with Earth Power, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Stealth Rock, just a basic pivot set with stabs because I felt like it did pretty well here. I think offensively, Sandy Shocks beats or kind of switches in and handles quite a few things. It can take a hit from Absol, it can beat Cobalion, it can kind of 1v1 Noivern in a way. Serena, it can just Volt Switch on. If I activate Lightning Rod on Rhyperior, I don't know why people run Lightning Rod without Terra, but some people do. I can just Earth Power that thing. Slurpuff, I can get good chip on it and Volt Switch out, or I can just kind of keep going for chip on it. Garbodor, I can Earth Power. Lapras, I can T-Bolt. Haunter and Mawile are pretty slow compared to Sandy Shocks, so I can just get good chip on those. My Hatterene set is actually a Life Orb Trick Room set. I felt like other than Serena, Life Orb, Draining Kiss plus Psychic and Giga Drain just kind of hit everything really hard. I wasn't expecting him to bring Mawile, but if he did bring Mawile, excuse me, GG's to him if he did. I probably could have slotted Mystical Fire over Giga Drain, but I kind of like the extra healing on a set that is running Life Orb without setup, especially. So yeah, that's my Hatterene. I'm bringing Scarf Iron Jugulus, which is to help beat a Rogue Mega Absol if it gets out of hand, potentially Serena. You can also handle like a polished Rhyperior. It can't beat Unburdened Slurpuff, but it does outspeed Slurpuff anyways. But yeah, I basically just wanted to make sure I outran his top 3 because they're pretty fast, as well as I don't think I had enough speed to outspeed like another Scarf on his team, because I ran like pretty minimal speed. I just wanted to outrun Noivern. My set is Hurricane, Dark Pulse, Earth Power, U-Turn. My Blastoise is going to be Scald, Ice Beam, Flip Turn, Rapid Spin, just kind of there to get rid of rocks, and I can Ice Beam the Noivern if I have to. I can take a hit from Absol and pivot. I can kind of handle like Cobalion. It doesn't handle Lapras though, but I kind of felt like maybe he wouldn't bring Lapras over like the top 6 or like Garbodor probably, so there's that. My Chestnut is Coba Berry to handle the Air Slash from either Absol or Cobalion, and then kind of beat those 1v1. I can also beat Rhyperior, Serena, even like Triple Axel Serena doesn't like. If he thinks I might be like a Helmet Chestnut, then he's not going to want to Triple Axel into me. And I can, I guess, take a hit from Noivern from full. Not that Chestnut does much back to Noivern, but you know, there's always the option. My last set is going to be Choppleberry on the Caparaja, which is also going to run Heavy Metal, Heavy Slam, Heat Crash, Earthquake, and Power Whip. Just kind of there to click buttons. There wasn't really a good switch into Heavy Slam or Heat Crash, and if he goes Rhyperior, I can Power Whip it, or I can switch into my 2 walls that kind of handle it. And the Choppleberries again, just to help me with Absol and Cobalion. Oop. Well, hopefully no one saw that. Anyways. Ooh, why is it like off-center? Center it back a little bit. Alright, so he did end up bringing basically top 6 plus Lapras minus Slurpuff, which I think is fair. I think Slurpuff could have been really scary if he did bring it. But I'm kind of glad he didn't bring it. Like a Belly Drum Slurpuff would have been pretty scary against me, so... Why can't I mute this? Okay. So getting started, I'm going to lead with Sandy Shocks. I felt like it was a pretty good neutral lead into things. He's going to frisk my leftovers, which is whatever. Volt Switch is going to do a lot, but I kind of expected Noivern to be bulkier because I thought he was able to invest a lot more in bulk, especially when the only thing he has to outspeed is Jugulis. But according to... I'm maybe I high rolled, but according to my calc, Volt Switch did... Volt Switch did like minimum if he's like a bulky Noivern, and it did like maximum if he's like not bulky. But yeah, I'm gonna go into Jugulis. Just gonna click Hurricane. He goes Cobalion for some reason, then goes Lapras. Maybe he thought I would U-turn out, but no, I just want to click Hurricane and just see scout some sets here. I will confuse Lapras, which is good for me, as now I can go Caparaja on his Cobalion, switch in, so he does kind of double correctly. However, I am Choppleberry, so I don't really care what he does. He's not going to be Leftovers or Policy Rhyperior, which is good for me. He's just going to get up rocks, which is whatever. I'm just going to spin, which kind of covers Leftovers for a turn, but I can't really do much, so I'm just going to go back on the Caparaja. Lapras is going to heal back up with Leftovers quite a bit, and I'm just going to Power Up the Rhyperior. I wasn't really predicting Rhyperior. The Power Up was just my best click into Lapras, and if he wanted to go something else, then those also take huge chip. I kind of wanted him to go Serena a little bit earlier, but yeah. He's going to go Absol here. It will Mega Evolve, and he will knock me off, which doesn't kill me, thankfully, and Heavy Slam will be enough to knock him out. I do think I lived on like 2 HP there, but I don't know what the roll was for me to die, but that was a really good trade for me. Trading both Rhyperior and Absol for Caparaja, I think, was pretty good. He will spin, which is a bit annoying, but I am Scarf Jugulus, so he should be able to outrun me, and I can just Hurricane. Unfortunately, I miss, but it's fine. I can go Hatterene here as he goes into Cobalion. I could have probably gotten up a Trick Room here, but I was a little bit scared for some reason that he would like Iron Head flinch me, and that's like basically what I was scared of, was an Iron Head flinch. He's gonna SD, which is kind of crazy, but if he was Aerial Ace or Air Slash, I do eat the hit. Body Press will knock out the Cobalion. Noivern's gonna come in on my Cobra Berry. I'm gonna Spiky Shield on his U-turn. Get some decent chip there. And he will Hurricane me. I could have probably kept Chestnut around for Serena or Lapras, but I felt like at the health I was at, like it probably didn't matter, and I'm not sure. I think Lapras... No, Lapras isn't faster than Chestnut. I probably should have kept Lapras around more than like Blastoise, probably. But yeah, I'm gonna go into Sandy Shocks now to see Dracos. A little bit unfortunate because I probably should have just went into Hatterene, and then here I misclicked and I went into Blastoise on accident. So I'm actually just gonna switch right into my Hatterene. Kind of sucks that I'm making this game a little bit closer than it needs to be, but he's gonna Rapid Spin with the Serena. It's going to do quite a bit of damage, but I will be able to outspeed with Hurricane, which does a decent amount to Lapras. But I also figured out that the Lapras is pretty bulky, so he's not going to be able to do too much damage, and this is my opportunity to Trick Room. And I can Draining Kiss, kill that Noivern, not have to worry about him anymore. Now he's going to go into Serena. I'm going to Psychic, which does a good amount of damage, actually. Power Whip will take me down pretty low. However, I am able to Psychic again, the Lapras. I considered going for Draining Kiss, but I didn't think Draining Kiss knocked out Serena, especially if Psychic did 58. So I just decided to Psychic again. Giga Drain will knock out Lapras. Now at this point, I had a feeling that he'd try to spin and try to outrun me. However, he actually just goes for Hard Axle, which would have been pretty crazy if he got that off. And a crit U-turn is just going to knock him out. A little bit unfortunate for him there that he lost some differential, but I think overall, in a way, like, I guess I misclicked Hatterene, or I misclicked Blastoise when I meant to go Hatterene, so I should have had a little bit more opportunities to set up the Hatterene. I think I missed a couple opportunities where I could have set up with Hatterene, but I probably should have just let it die instead of risking the game, because if he landed all those triple axles, I definitely would have lost. Like 15, 30, yeah, I would have died. Barely, but I would have died. So if he had hit all three, it would have been GG's. Unless maybe Blastoise could take a hit. Actually, let me calc that. Big Man Blastoise into Serena. A Blastoise does live a Power Whip from like offensive Serena, and then Ice Beam from that range did kill it. Okay. Okay, so no, I did always win, but he could crit Power Whip, or I could. You never know. But yeah, that'll be GG's to Mario B. Next week, I don't know who I'm playing next week actually. It might be like Caden or T4U. I haven't played any of those guys yet. I don't think I've played Scary Terry yet. Pretty stacked schedule for the end of the season, actually. So yeah, I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.